We're gonna move on to Terry Rozier. So there was an article written, just kind of giving the backstory of how he landed in Charlotte, and it provided another opportunity to take a dump on Michael Jordan. So Jamal, I'm starting off with you. What was your thoughts on the Terry Rozier article?
Well, beforehand, man, I've made mention of how I thought Terry Rozier was a necessary signing for the Hornets after the Kemba Walker debacle, and I maintain that. The way that we got Terry Rozier, it reeked of desperation, but I'm not really so mad at that because again, man, that to me it was a dire situation at point guard. Yeah. We needed to do something. So in regards to the article mentions the fact that Michael Jordan called Mitch Kupchak and said, hey, man, you need to do whatever you can to go get this guy. It's not like he was wrong. You get what I'm saying? It's just the fact that, I love this word, optics. Yeah. It just looks bad when the Kemba Walker thing went down. Even though Kemba Walker himself said, I understand why it didn't work out, but that's another story. But the optics look bad because, number one, people who don't want Michael Jordan in charge, so to speak, or making decisions, he obviously made a call, and we got Terry Rozier as a result. A lot of people think we overpaid for him. That's another story that I won't get into today. But
it's a wait and see.
It's a wait and see, man. At the end of the day, any Hornets fan should want Terry Rozier to ball out. I want him to ball out because I'm sick and tired of Michael Jordan is the Grand Wizard and everything is his fault narrative. But yeah, so let's just wait and see. Man.
Jamal, Vince, what do you think about the crap taking we taking on Michael right now, man?
I was a little depressed. And reason being, obviously, the fan base, craps on Michael Jordan a lot because apparently, he meddles too much. And for the last 3 to 5 years, we have staunchly defended Mike that he hasn't had his hands in anything because the last concrete evidence that we've had was the Frank Kaminsky trade. And after Frank was drafted, and I said trade, but I meant drafted. Yeah. After Frank Kaminsky was drafted, reports came out that Michael Jordan had said that he was going to take a step back and he was going to let the front office do what the front office do, and he was just going to sign checks. And so when the Rozier article came out, everyone that has said that, Michael Jordan needs to be more active into the fan base, and everyone gets upset that when all these moves are being made, Michael Jordan is out somewhere smoking a cigar and all that good stuff. It gives credence to his critics because now they can say, see, Michael Jordan is the reason why we suck. Michael Jordan is the reason why we can't win. Every bad thing that has happened is because of Michael Jordan. And I don't know, man.
Let me punch a hole in that real quick. Because when the Kemba Walker thing was going down, apparently he was distant. He wasn't there. So which one do you want, man? You get what I'm saying? Which one do fans
And that's want? The hypocrisy. That's the hypocrisy in the fan base. No matter what happens, it's always a negative response. He hasn't been involved enough.
So let me ask you a question. Do you think MJ warrants any criticism at all, or is it overboard to you?
No, and see, it's hard to answer that question because the reason why Michael Jordan gets so much criticism, and we've said this time after time again, is because he's Michael Jordan.
Right. Yeah.
He's like if you were to ask anybody who criticizes Michael Jordan, ask them to name 10 NBA owners now. They can't name them. And so it's hard for me to say he warrants criticism because New York is a shit show. Sacramento is a shit show.
Minnesota.
Phoenix is probably the biggest shit show right now, but you don't ever hear anything about their owners.
Right.
You hear them referred to as the front office needs to get it together because it's understood that the owners just signed the checks.
And the leg that I've stood on throughout this whole MJ debate is there's just so much that goes into running an NBA franchise, and you just don't know all the moving parts. So, of course, it makes the narrative easier just to blame one guy. You get what I'm saying? We all four of us are very well versed when it comes to NBA basketball, but all four of us don't know everything that goes on in the franchise. Yeah. So, but we're smart enough to say we don't know everything. Yeah, you get what I'm saying? So we're just not going to make some lazy narrative and say, Man, it's just his
and
fault,
every franchise operates
differently, right?
You got some NBA owners who never come to the games. They never interact with the players. All they literally do is sign the checks. You got some NBA owners who they might come to the games. They might interact with the players, but they don't have any say so in the day-to-day operations. They sign checks. But then you got some owners on the other end of the spectrum, like Jerry Jones.
Right.
In addition to signing the checks, he's doing interviews. He does the press conferences. He has say so in who comes in and all. We don't know to what scope that Michael Jordan is operating within the Hornets organization. So then it's gonna suck because let's say the Rozier thing works out. Let's say Rozier comes here and he balls out. We might not win too many games, but let's say he justifies his contract. Everyone will get credit
except Michael Jordan. Right.
All right. So that's we got you.
I just had one more thing to say about the Terry Rozier thing, man, and with Rozier, like Vince kind of already said, if he balls out, who's gonna get the credit? But at the same time, could you imagine what would have happened if Michael Jordan didn't make that phone call to Mitch Kupchak? What happened? What kind of situation would we be in at point guard if Michael doesn't call?
Well, some people would think that, hey, we're gonna sign this guy with the mid-level exception, and he was gonna come here automatically, and this was this and this. He's more efficient than Rozier, and this and this. But that was not a guarantee.
Right.
Free agents make their own decisions. You can't just say, hey, I'm Michael Jordan. You're going to sign here.
We're going to wrap this up because I feel like we're going on a tangent. But let me say this one thing. I personally thought Ricky Rubio was a mid-level exception guy. Okay?
He got $50 million.
Y'all see what kind of contract he got with Phoenix. Who do you prefer? Terry Rozier or Ricky Rubio?
Rozier. Younger.
I'm going to leave it at that.
All right. So